All right, guys, so I think it's fair to say with the LS swap, I just bit off a little bit more than I can chew. I ended up deciding to sell the car, and it was really hard to do, but nah, just kidding. All right, guys, so last video, I think I left off, I was working on the fuel system, which, funny story, I had to redo all that, and I'll pop the hood in just a second, but I had so many problems, and that's really what discouraged me from making videos. Because I would try something and it wouldn't work. So I just thought it was kind of a waste of time to try to video it. I tried probably 50 different things. Nothing was working. Like I could get it to run and it would idle, but it wouldn't run right. But yeah, there's the new, I got a fuel pressure regulator because I wasn't sure what kind of fuel pressure I had, and that's like super important to getting it running right. So I got that just so I knew. And actually to completely redo the fuel lines and all that, but first go around is good practice. And then the only thing I changed with the intake is I didn't have to use the mass airflow sensor. And then my grandpa made the, what do you call it, the radiator support. I don't remember if I showed this or not, but I did the new alternator kit. And then we wired up the electric fans, which that was actually a big project. I figured it'd take like a couple hours, but it ended up taking a whole weekend. But that's just kind of the things that I was getting into. Everything was taking longer than it should, and it always took 3 steps when it should have taken 1. So while I did the LS swap, I also went through and did a new steering box, which is actually out of a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And then I did a new rag joint, all that stuff, ball joints, and then tie rod ends, but it's still on completely stock suspension. And also, before I did the LS swap, I put in a limited slip diff. So it hooks up both tires now and has a lot of power to give to it. So now it just squats the back end with those 50-year-old leaf springs pretty bad. So that's next up on the list. So another thing that was like a huge contributor that's taken so long is this vacuum line right here. I had to replace that, and I had no idea it had a black line, and it had a tiny little split back there which let air into it, and then was completely thrown off like the map, like all the complete tune, and it just ran terrible as soon as you tried to drive it. So I mean, I had no way of knowing that. The little split was far enough back that I couldn't see it. And that was probably like 20 hours that I put into it, just looking around and trying to fix it. So another thing is the throttle pedal is out of the Camaro that I pulled all the parts from. And then I bought the brake and clutch pedal off at Summit. But I had to like figure out the angle and how to mount the master cylinder through the firewall, which that took a lot of figuring out. It was just a lot of taking stuff apart, trying it. So I did that 5 or 6 times, which just always sucks trying to climb underneath the dash, but you know, that just took a lot of time. So the Tex MTB crew built this center console, and it turned out super nice. I think it only cost like 50 bucks, right?
Yeah.
So I stole the shifter boot from Jake, and then got that part of the console pre-made on Amazon for 30 bucks. And now I got phone chargers, cup holder.
Yeah, and we'll flash up some pictures of just the skeleton. We made it out of wood and then just covered in some vinyl.
At the moment, none of the gauges work, but that's a small price to pay. I've got this little thing that says all the stuff I need to know, but eventually I'll buy the actual gauge cluster. But I've just kind of been holding off because it's like $1,000. guys, well that's gonna wrap up today's video. Sorry I couldn't get more videos out, but I've just been really busy and I plan to get some more out, so stay tuned and I'll see you next time.